Hey guys, welcome to the Addiction Mindset Recovery Coaching YouTube channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about the 8 levels of THC withdrawal symptoms in comparison to like you're playing a video game. Looking back on my own journey struggling with addiction to THC, energy drinks, nicotine, and adult media content, things that this channel now helps people quit, I realized the experience was very similar to a video game. You can't get to that 8th level of success unless you go through levels 1 through 7. Now, my goal of today's video is to give you guys hacks or a cheat sheet on getting through levels 1 through 7 so we can finally hit level 8. And my goal is to make this process as easy as possible for you guys. So if you're interested in that, be sure to hang out for the entire video. So level number 1 usually occurs just prior to quitting THC. And level number 1 usually involves fear. And the fear that most people often experience, and I remember experiencing this, was the fear of life without weed. Am I ever going to have fun again? Am I going to be stressed out of my mind all the time? How am I going to face tomorrow if I'm not high, if I don't have weed? Now, the fear that's often overlooked, though, during this level number 1 is the fear of, what if I keep smoking? What if I keep smoking weed? What's my future going to look like? What are my finances going to look like? What are my relationships going to look like? And my hack for getting through level 1 and getting to a positive mindset about quitting smoking weed would be write down your goals and write down your reasons for why you want to quit. And I tell people, come up with a series of recovery goals or things that you can work towards as you're going through your journey on sobriety and all of that stuff from quitting weed. Yes, quitting is an excellent goal, but you should have other positive things that you're focused on. It's a mindset hack. Quitting isn't about what you're giving up in life. Quitting is all about focusing on the things that you want to gain back in life. Deeper relationships, more money in your bank account, better mental health, better physical health, whatever it may be for you. So that's level number 1. Level 2 typically occurs between the first 24 to 48 hours, and level 2 involves excitement. This is where the person's quitting, they made their list of goals, they got a really positive mindset, and they're actually excited to quit smoking weed, and maybe they did quit. Maybe they're 24 hours in and they're feeling good and confident in their decision. Now, this is where I like to caution people, and this is the hack to get through level number 2. Remember to acknowledge that excitement is like any other emotion that we experience. Excitement is a temporary emotion, and I can almost guarantee you, for like 99% of people quitting THC, this initial feeling of excitement is going to pass. So the hack here would be is just to acknowledge, although that you're excited right now, you are aware that more challenging times and more challenging situations lie ahead in your quitting process. One of the things I like to tell people too when it comes to level number 2 is approach quitting weed like a stock. This stock is going to have highs and it's going to have lows, but we're in this for the long-term investment. And just like stocks, it's really easy to want to invest in yourself when you're feeling good about things. But when you really want to be investing in something that has a good long-term value, that's something being you, is when that stock is dipping, when that stock is feeling low, because the returns on the other end might be something incredible. So that's my hack for level number 2. By level 3, this is usually where those feelings of excitement start to fade. I remember this like it was yesterday. This is usually within the first 48 to 72 hours, usually peaking on days 3 to 5. And this is where our body's really starting to go through that detox process and that process of physical withdrawal symptoms. Sweating, insomnia, agitation, headaches, gastrointestinal changes, whatever number of things people experience going through THC withdrawal, it looks different for everyone, but this is where people usually wind up relapsing. And I have a hack to get you to level 4. View the physical withdrawal symptoms as nothing more than addiction leaving your body. This is your body's way of detoxing and recalibrating and getting you back to a state of normal, even though it might not feel that way. a lot of people get really frustrated during the withdrawals and they get in a really negative headspace. And I want you to put a positive spin on it. Withdrawal is nothing more than addiction leaving your body. And this is a guaranteed sign of your success in your THC recovery journey. A secondary hack for getting through the THC physical withdrawal symptoms on level 3 is eating healthy food, staying hydrated, getting rest when you can, and gentle exercise. Going for a walk, doing some light cardio, maybe lifting weights really, really lightly. Stay moving, stay active. Try your best to release those healthy endorphins and take good care of yourself. And I promise that's going to advance you to level number 4. Level 4 of THC withdrawal usually occurs on days 7 through 90, and this is where we're really playing a mind game. These are those mental withdrawal symptoms. This is where you start to get cravings. This is where you start to grow frustrated. People become irritable. People become angry. This is a mind game level, okay? It's not a level involving physical endurance. This is a level of mental toughness. Now, it's in this level 4, where people usually begin to doubt themselves. And I have a hack so you can avoid this. Focus on things like talk therapy, just like this video is. If you need help with that, you guys can always work with our offices. Maybe talk to your friends, talk to your family, join a support group. But getting through level number 4 is really all about the support system that you have built for yourself. There's nothing wrong with having other people walk you through what's going on and helping you interpret your thoughts and your emotions at this point. Another hack that I have for you is to avoid frustrating tasks, challenging situations, and frustrating persons. You are going to be going through it right now, okay? And this is usually somewhere between days 7 through 90 for most people. And now is not a time to take on a super challenging task or be around a group of people that just drive you out of your mind, because that's only going to increase your frustration. That's only going to increase these feelings of doubt. And it's only going to increase the chances of relapse. And remember, I can tell you this right now, relapse does not have to be one of the various levels to this video game. That I can promise you, it doesn't have to be. Level number 5 is anhedonia, and this usually occurs somewhere between days 7 and 90. And this is a feeling where we no longer feel joy. Like, here we are working on our goals, here we are working on our relationships, working on things that we think we should enjoy doing, and there's just no joy to these activities anymore. Now, a lot of this has to actually do with the rebalancing of your endocannabinoid system and the endocannabinoid receptors. A lot of this has to do with serotonin levels and dopamine levels, which your brain is working through. It's rebalancing those things right now. But my hack for getting through the anhedonia, or the lack of joy in life, is finding a routine that you can stick to, a routine consisting of activities that give you consistent, steady rewards. So an example may be waking up and working out first thing in the morning. Maybe that's too much for you right now. Maybe waking up and taking a hot shower and just organizing your day in your head while you're doing that is a good place to start. But I would recommend getting a routine of processes and day-to-day tasks that you can repeat day in and day out for the next month, the next 3 months, the next 6 months, the next year. And I would recommend that this routine involves activities that are going to give you some type of long-term reward that you can work towards. As you continue in this routine, eventually these activities are going to start to give you those releases of dopamine again. And as you train your brain to repeat a series of processes over and over again, eventually that dopamine is going to be released to encourage you to keep repeating those processes over and over again. And I promise you, in time, this feeling of lack of joy or this feeling of anhedonia will pass. And at that point, you're going to advance to level number 6. Level 6 is what we refer to as the pink cloud syndrome. And this is where it's almost like you're getting high on life, but you're not actually high. You feel like $1,000,000, nothing could knock you down, and then boom, some bad situation happens. Some negative event comes up, and the person winds up relapsing under the premise of, oh, I thought I was going to feel this way, this good, this positive for the rest of my life. Now, here's my hack to avoid this from happening. Recognize the pink cloud when you're in it. And just remember, like I said in level number 2, that level of excitement, these feelings and these emotions are temporary. And there's a good chance right now, if you're on that pink cloud phase, that you're running really, really high. And there's a good chance that you're going to come down. Now, one of the most important cheat sheets or hacks for when you're in the pink cloud syndrome is to remind yourself that this emotion is only temporary and that you don't want to celebrate it by using a substance. So a lot of people start to feel really good during this phase and they say to themselves, oh, I'm going to go smoke weed because I'll feel even better. You still hold on to that past mindset of using the drug as a form of celebration. And if you can avoid doing this, if you can think of not the last time you smoked, or if you can think of not the first time you smoked, when maybe it was a reward and it was fun, but rather remember the last time you smoked and all the misery that came along with that, I think you're going to avoid any downfall in the pink cloud syndrome. Level number 7 involves just going steady. This is days 30 or days, 60 to 90 through the course of the next year. And this is where you just want to maintain that level of steadiness in your recovery process. And one of the best ways to do that is by developing and utilizing new coping mechanisms that you've picked up, many of which I've mentioned prior in this video. Maybe that's talk therapy, exercise, maybe it's reading, writing, investing your time into a hobby. Whatever it is, I want you to focus on things that have a long-term goal and a long-term reward. And if you can turn those activities that will move you towards that reward or move you towards that long-term goal, you're going to create this level of steadiness. And that's exactly where we want you to be. Now, level 8 involves post-acute withdrawal symptoms and then your continued recovery process. And this level really requires ongoing patience, ongoing discipline, and ongoing determination and confidence and commitment to this journey that you've now started. Unlike a video game, there is no end to this new lifestyle that you've developed, and there shouldn't be an end to it because you should be excited about it. This is something that you should continually want to keep pursuing until the end of time, until the end of your days, okay? And level 8 is a little bit of a roller coaster because people might experience post-acute withdrawal symptoms. You might feel like you're still going through THC withdrawal. Most of this is psychological. Somewhere after the first 200 days, after the first 100 days, even though you fully detoxed THC from your body at this point. And this is where it's so important that you just remain committed to your sobriety and your recovery process. A lot of good things take time. Building a business on average takes 5 years. Most people fail in the first 3 years, right? We're building a business here with our addiction mindset recovery coaching. A really meaningful relationship usually develops over the course of years. If you've ever talked to someone who's been happily married for years, they'll tell you, I fell more and more in love as the years went on. Unanimously, you hear that again and again. So I want you to be patient with this process. I want you to recognize many of the best things to come aren't going to happen in the first 3 months of quitting weed and the first 6 months of quitting weed. Many of those good, positive things are going to happen after a year, after your second year, after your third year of committing to this process and continually working to excel in a better direction. I hope this video, guys, sets some realistic expectations for you. I hope I gave you guys the cheat sheets and the cheat codes that you need to succeed. Why don't you follow me into the next video where I talk about how I keep myself accountable? I'll see you guys there.